Hey there, it's Dr. Fee, and today I'm sharing with you 4 phenomenal shifts to help you to embrace a blissful life. Stay tuned. Hey there, it's Dr. Fee, and I'm thrilled to be here and sharing with you today 4 phenomenal shifts that can help you to truly embrace a blissful life. And this follows on from a share that I've just done recently around finding your bliss. And it's really coming from my years of experience of helping professional women and women who are ultra busy to get out of burnout, kick it to the curb, and really find their bliss, live their bliss, and embrace a very, very blissful life. We like talking about bliss. So I wanted to jump on here and support you by really, I guess, understanding, first of all, that there is a different path to healing, especially if you've been told nothing else can be done, or you keep getting those normal tests, but you feel anything but normal. And as if you've heard me before, then you'll know that I really like to talk about actually, there's a reason why we hit a point of depletion. And it's not just to change our diet or to find a magic pill or to get a complex regime of supplements. And I'm not against that. I'm just saying that's not why we get sick. And in my experience of 10, 15, more than 15 years of supporting people to fully heal and recover from complex illness and burnout and exhaustion and fatigue and all of that, is that really what they've shown me, my clients have shown me, is that there are deeper patterns, how we're living, how we're showing up in life, how we're in a survival state that really impacts our physiology, our ability to heal, and, well, relevant to today's topic, how it shuts us down, disconnects us from the abundance that we truly have in our life and limits us in terms of our bliss. So here's the thing. As humans, we are meaning-making machines. Do you get what I'm saying? Something happens and our mind latches on to all the reasons of what it could mean, where it may be leading me to, what the potential consequences are going, and we just get very, very busy minds. And what happens is, not only is that exhausting and depleting, have you noticed that? The more you're up here ruminating, it's so exhausting, that then leads to brain fog and the rest. But it's also a stealer of joy. It also takes you away from the present moment. And when we're not in the present moment, right now, here, we're caught in the memory of the past, or we're caught up in our imagination and future suffering. If you hear future suffers, like there's nothing right now. The reality is, if you feel like you're suffering, why is it that you're suffering? Well, you're suffering because of your mind and the meaning we give things, and whether we're focusing on the past or the future, on our memories, or imagining a million, billion, trillion possibilities of what could be. Well, we're away from the present moment, and that, my friend, is what causes suffering. And it's a big deal. You would have heard me talk about how our perception, the lens that we look through, it's not the stress, it's not the circumstance, but our reaction to it that truly, truly weakens our physiology, weakens our immune system, creates havoc in our hormones, because all of our hormones talk together, and that our systems are interchanged and interlinked, and our gut talks to our immune system, and that talks us to our nervous system, and that's linked to our adrenals. And oh my goodness, it's all in this beautiful harmony and balance until disturbance happens and something is blocked, and those particular health or the systems that support vitality and good health are strained, depleted, or shut down. And how we help our clients to truly heal and reclaim their vitality is to get them to really give the body what it needs, because it will take care of itself. And that, really requires us to get out of a state of survival. Okay. So coming back to rules, what are rules? Well, we have so many rules that we give meaning to, that run the show, that, underpin how we react, why it is that we react, and what the reaction is to when something happens, whether it's something that someone says, whether it's, someone simply cutting us off in front of us, whether we get some news or an email, or how someone may speak to us, the look they might get us. Have you noticed that this up here can give so many different opinions? One moment it might be supportive, the next might be highly critical. And that in turn affects how we feel. When we have a thought, we have a corresponding feeling. And if you've heard me talk about feelings before, well, my friends, it's this beautiful makeup of hormones and neurotransmitters and chemicals that create a feeling, a physiological response in our body. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, it's the language of the body, and so it is. And in turn, we have effects in our physiological variables, heart rate, breathing rate, blood flow, perfusion, all of that, based on whether we feel stressed, love, joy, peace, calm, and happiness. So that's just to illustrate and tie it back to why would I be talking about this when it comes to burnout and physical illness and physical health. So hopefully you've got that clarity with that framework. In terms of rules, rules can serve us and take us to where we want to be, or they can be unresourceful, put us in an unresourceful state, lead us to beating ourselves up, to not feeling like we're ever enough, that we're a failure. And rules can be when we say things like always. To be a good mum, I always need to put my kids into bed and cuddle them and read to them and so on. To be a good mum, I must never, ever yell at them or raise my voice to them. So this is often how you can hear yourself notice when you've set a rule. Now, the problem about rules, especially always and never, is that, well, we're setting pretty huge expectations on ourselves, right? We're putting a whole lot of pressure on ourselves and expectations that are not realistic. So if I'm here with any perfectionists, you will understand exactly what I mean, and you will be living this experience, right? Where you may be doing incredibly well, but because of your own rules, it never feels quite enough. And if you're the overachiever, when you get there, when you complete that, it's just, okay, next, because it's never enough. The very thing that's driving you is not complete. You're not coming from a place of wholeness. You're coming from a place of not enoughness, from depletion, from missing something. So you're seeking out there, right, to feel full, to feel whole. But the problem is nothing out there is going to make you feel complete. Okay, and that is nothing new. That is something that all the great masters and spiritual teachers have shared with us. And I think it's something we've all lived and experienced. We all have told ourselves, one day, someday, I'll be happy when, I'll rest when I get there, I'll feel successful once I've accomplished. And we get there and we look around and we go, it's not what I thought it would be. And it's great to have those achievements, but I'm talking about bliss. And so here's the thing about embracing a blissful life, is that it's not an absence of challenges. No, not at all. life will still continue to happen. Bad things happen. Bad things happen to good people doing great things. Obstacles still get in our way. But how we look through the rules and the meaning that we give something can create that experience into being your worst nightmare or the life I truly love. It's as simple as that. As a really, really simple example of what I mean, you might be going on a road trip, you've got your car full, your family, your kids in the back, you've got pillows and belongings poking out this wherever, you've just shoved everything in, you're heading off and it's like, quick, we got to beat the traffic, maybe it's Easter Friday and it's like, oh, I want to get out of the city before it's really peak hour, what a nightmare it is. And you get a flat tire. So you pull off, and depending on perspective, that's the only thing that's really going to shape this experience as being good or bad. Because is it really bad that that's happened? No, not for all people. No. For some, it could be an adventure. Wow, where do we pull up? What's this little country town? Hey guys, well, dad fixes the tire or mum fixes the tire, whoever is responsible for fixing the tire. It could be creating a game for the kids. It could be exploring something that you wouldn't have normally, you would have just driven past. Depending on perspective and how you handle that challenge, this could be one of the best things that happened on your holiday. Or it could be, are you kidding me? This is the worst thing, barking at each other, getting frustrated, shouting. And it's just like, are we there yet? And everyone's miserable. And that can just happen in life. It can accumulate. And if we don't know how to handle it and shift not just mindsets to the rules and the meaning that we give something and the lens that we look through, but also how we feel, it's like we drag the residue of that previous experience into new ones. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Where maybe with your loved one, like your most intimate partner, where you've had an argument and there's some hurt. And unless you actually address that, like truly let it go, forgive, have compassion, really meet your needs, meet that part of you that was hurt, then the residue of that argument will stay in the energy of your relationship. It will stay in the vortex. It will stay between you two and grow like cancer. And it will disintegrate the relationship. You can keep putting on a happy face. You can keep wearing that mask and pretending, but there's a part of you that's still wrapped in that experience, and the resentment grows. And what often happens, it keeps getting triggered. It keeps getting triggered, and you keep noticing behavior or how he or she said that and what they did and how that makes me, and it's the same energy or the same wound gets triggered, and it grows until you start to notice that you are separating and distancing each other and shutting down or pushing away. Because when we're hurt people. And we can then, that part can kind of, in some extreme, like it comes out of control. And I speak to a lot of women who feel really shut down and disconnected from their loved one because of exactly this. So in terms of the 4 phenomenal strategies, tips that you can utilize in your life to help you to truly embrace a blissful life, my number 1 is holding gratitude for what you have. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of gratitude, the benefits of it. There's scientific studies around how it actually reshapes our brain, and it helps us to get out of depression and anxiety. It influences how we enjoy life, how we make decisions, productivity. It is a phenomenal practice. But the thing that I notice when I'm speaking to women in burnout or have been on a long journey and they've done a bit of work here or there with practitioners and learnt, the how wonderful gratitude is that it still stays here. And it's not truly lived, not truly embodied, not truly embraced and integrated in life. And unless we implement things, guys, nothing's going to change. You can get information. It stays at here, but it doesn't actually have the corresponding shift that you truly want. And so gratitude is one of the things that I find helps us to start to notice, have an awareness, but shift our overall emotional and vibrational state. And from that, we then get to uplift our relationships, embrace opportunities, and say more. It's like we magnetize to us the very best, the things that we notice and have gratitude for in our lives. It's like we turn the tap on and the universe says, you like that, here you go, have more. And that's where we get our clients to. And it's wonderful to see them get promotions. Once they get out of that state of surviving, they then get to shine. And in that, they're rewarded through promotions and prosperity and new opportunities, and really being able to make those decisions where they get to put structures and routines and enjoy their life in their way, how they choose or how they desire to enjoy it, which is their blissful way of living. The second is that it's about finding certainty in change. Now, one of our basic human needs is certainty. And I speak to hundreds of women who are stuck in burnout. And sometimes the very thing that trips them up to actually making a decision to get the hell out of it is a lack of certainty. Their need for certainty is so strong that they feel like they are so scared of doing something different that they stay with the devil they know. They stay doing the same thing, pushing on in the same way, and of course knowing that they're only going to get the same results or worse, because actually in nature, when you stay the same, what happens? You generally decay. Okay. So finding certainty in a different way is essential. Because to just tell ourselves, just do it. Big breath, come on, I just have to do something different. It's not going to work. It's not going to be long lasting. You'll find yourself do a bit of a boom or bust approach, or you're good for a little bit with that diet, but then boom, you're back into the old ways, the old patterns. And so what I encourage, and this is especially around change, because life will often give us obstacles, or we'll notice that challenges come up, and with that comes change. It's inevitable. Change can either create excitement in our life, or it can create massive fear and trepidation and cause us to contract and shut down. And so I just ask you, rather than, and look, for a lot of you who feel really stuck and powerless, this lack of certainty in change is probably playing out. And I would invite you to look at how you can find certainty in change. And it might be that you find people to support you, so that then you can anchor the meaning and the rules that actually I have certainty in knowing that I've got the support I need with change. You understand what I mean? I have certainty that with this support, I'll know what to do at the time. I have certainty that by making this decision, the universe is going to come and meet me. That's a beautiful, beautiful rule to have. You can really define and make up your own rules when it comes to certainty, so that you can embrace change. Because if you're pushing on doing the same thing, honestly, making a decision and really inviting change in is going to serve you. It's going to serve you. So, the other way that you can find certainty when you're just finding yourself staying stuck, you're like, fear of failure, the fear of the unknown. And so you just kind of indecisive, never making a decision, staying in the same place and not really solving the issues as to why you've got sick or burnt out or shut down in your relationships. And that's really to create uncertainty in your current situation. What do I mean by that? So, you have certainty in it because it's what you know, but you can really look at it and define, well, what are the negatives of this situation, and really amplify certainty with that. So I'm certain that if I stay stuck in this job right now that is way out of alignment with my values, I'm going to get sick. I have certainty that if I keep doing the same thing, I'm never ever going to fill my heart with joy. I have certainty that if I continue to be shut down, I'm never going to restore or repair my relationship with my husband, and that's important to me. And so you can look at it that way. So 2 ways of finding certainty in change. So it's like really cultivating certainty around change so you can start to embrace it. And by focusing on the certainty of how your current situation isn't serving you, you kind of break your attachment, you separate yourself from that to prepare you to really lean forward and lean into that decision to get out of it. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3 is a biggie, and it is accepting what is. Now, most of you will just probably like, oh yeah, whatever. Yep, got it. I accept it. But it's like gratitude, guys. Because here's the thing, most of the time we are wanting to control and manipulate what is. And for our women, one of the first things we get them to do is to get very clear as to what it is that they want and to dream so big. Because as I say to them, are they going to be disappointed if they get 80 or 90% of the way there? No. And so we get them to dream big, and we're very much focused on outcomes. We're very much focused on them accomplishing what success looks like to them when they complete our initial training, our initial program, Finding Bliss. So we're very much focused on outcomes. But what we really support them with is the journey. And a part of what that is acceptance. It's a really important factor. And the reason is that we can't control the how. We want to, don't we want to? And often, when we set goals, we think it's very linear. I'm here and I want to get to A. I'm here in A and I want to get to B. And we think it's going to be a straight line, but it never is. It's often around and around and up and down to get there. And often when we're really looking at this, the magic behind co-creation and manifesting and living and embracing a blissful life, when you set really audacious goals, like big goals, like our women, our clients do, our Bliss sisters do, then what often happens is the universe gives us exactly what we need to support us with our growth, with our capacity to receive that, to accomplish that outcome. And it can look like an obstacle. It can look like a really big challenge. But what we support our clients with is accepting what is, accept the how, lean in. And there's so much to it. But again, when we fight to not accept something, what happens? If we're constantly fighting against what is, how does it feel? Well, from a physiological point of view, that is the sympathetic nervous system. It's the resistance. It's the stress. It shouldn't be like this. It's the pressure. It's the push. It's the grind. It's exhausting. Whereas if we actually understand that when we accept, now this is not giving up, and this is one of the biggest barriers for our clients who have had chronic fatigue or chronic medical illness or chronic depression, or chronic anxiety, anything of chronicity, is that when I talk to them about accepting where they are right now, they can create a meaning, or they have a mismatch in meaning, thinking that acceptance of what is right now is giving up. And it's not. You can truly accept what is right now and still be focused, steadfast, with absolute certainty, this is where I'm ending up. And as we accept what is in life, guys, the challenges, the this, the that, what was happening is we're flipping our physiology into a parasympathetic state. Because truly, when you accept something, how does it feel? Relief, right? Relief. It feels light. It feels good. It feels we've let go of the resistance and the push. It feels so great. And all of a sudden, you'll notice your energy. You'll notice your brain comes back online. You'll notice balance, a sense of harmony, a sense of releasing from the muscles that were tense. And it's like, you're soft in your body again. But when we also accept what is, from an energetic and spiritual point of view, what happens is that we become very powerful. The problem shrinks, and as we step into acceptance, we grow, and that supports us to be strong when facing what is and facing what was a problem, but now is merely an obstacle. It's now merely an opportunity. It's just something that I get to handle because I'm steadfast in my goal and my outcome, and this is where I'm heading. And what happens with acceptance is that we truly get to be present, happy, calm, right now, right here. And that's what it's about. Because the only thing that we can be certain of is this current moment. Like I'm here right now, fully present to serve you guys. And in this moment, there's joy, and I just have a sense of calm, and I just feel so grateful that I get to be here to share this. And that, comes because through letting go, through accepting what is, to be allows us to be present. And that's my fourth phenomenal shift. And that is embracing the moment, being present right here, right now. Because it's being present in the moment that we truly get to access that part of us, which is bliss, peace, joy. And yes, when we live life and we accomplish things, if we think about our material life or reality or 3D, whatever you want to call it, then, we have such meaning that says, when I accomplish something, then I'll feel happy or successful. But if I don't accomplish that, then I will feel like I'm a failure or incomplete. But actually, if we're truly present in the moment and embracing this very moment, then this is where the possibility and the opportunity lies for us to really be tapped in and connected to what is the power within us that is bliss, true bliss. And obviously it's a process. I truly believe that we are the divine, waking up to the fact that we're the divine, and that all of this is the divine's design, whether you call it divine, God, nature, source, I don't care. Whatever it is for you. I think really at the end of the day, that's what illness and that's what burnout and that's what living out of our alignment wakes us up to. And it helps us to make a decision to be present. And making decisions, have you noticed that, like as an example, if you're a working mum, when you're at work, you might be beating yourself up that you're away from your kids and I should be spending more time with my kids. But when you're with your kids, you have that lagging feeling of your to-do list and the things that you didn't get done. And so you're not really present with your kids because you haven't made a decision and you're splitting your energy. And what I really encourage our clients to do, our Bliss Sisters, is make the decision. It's your decision. If you're at work, make the decision, I'm at work. Remember why you're doing that. Be grateful for that as an opportunity. You chose that. You choose this. And when you're with your kids, be with your kids. Be so present. Make that decision. There's nowhere else that you need to be. Make that decision so that you're fully present there with them. And that fills you up. That is joy. That is so much more energizing. And it is a decision that we get to make. I know a lot of you will be like, yeah, but I don't have enough time. I have to multitask and all. And I'm not against multitasking. There's times where we get to multitask, but I'm saying generally in how we choose to show up and live, be present in the moment, because that is where we get to see what is unfolding in front of us. It's where we get to embrace the moment. And have you noticed when you're fully present with another person, like fully there, often what you feel and what you discover and what you get to experience can be mind-blowing in such a simple interaction. And you miss that if you're still tied or plugged into your emails or what Facebook was saying or that post that your friend put up and, all of that, you miss it. But so do you miss it right now, wherever you're watching this, if you're distracted or, multitasking, multiple tasks, you're missing, trust me, you will be missing nuances. And it's just because you're not present and you haven't shifted your full awareness to the moment that unfolds. So it's not a judgment. I'm not here to beat anyone up. I'm still waking up to all of this. And I think it's a process of knowledge to understanding, to true embodiment, to wisdom, and then liberation from it. And, for me, it's something that myself and my team and our community all desire, because in this, we truly get to embrace what it is that we want and co-create the life that we want and be enjoying the journey and be enjoying the moment, because that's the only thing that's inevitable. So the future, which has got a million, billion, trillion, whatever, big number of possibilities, if we're living out there, it's not inevitable. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. The only moment we have is right now. So, of course, there's a lot, when we go through this, sometimes it can bring up even more questions. How? So you're talking mindfulness. No, I'm not just talking mindfulness. It's a very beautiful thing, but I like to think about things on a psychological and emotional and a physical, a spiritual and energetic basis. And so there's going to be different aspects of us that need addressing in different situations. And that's what we support our clients to learn about, so that they know in any given situation, they have the tools and they can discern what it is that I need right now to meet me and meet my needs, so that I am connected to my bliss, allowing that part of me to flourish, to shine in life, and truly, truly embracing a blissful life. So if you're at that point and you are just like, yes, please, I want in, I want more, then I encourage you to check out our free masterclass, which is 5 simple steps that our gorgeous professional female clients use to overcome burnout and reconnect with themselves, to live life with joy and vitality, aka get from burnout to bliss. Okay, and from there you'll get a lot of information and be able to make that decision, and there will be an invitation to book a free call with us, which is a clarity session where we'll serve you to clarity and support you with the next best step. So it may be to work with us, it may not be. We have to really make sure that the style of work we do and how important our community is to us, that obviously that we're a good fit for you and that you're a good fit for the work that we do and the community that we have. So here's to you and your bliss and your blissful life, and many prayers and blessings, and holding you in my heart. Bye-bye. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you would like to subscribe and keep in touch, then click on my head and you'll subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to book a call with our team for an amazing life-changing experience, then click on the button beneath this, which is book a clarity session, or go to our website, findingbliss.com.au/apply, and be sure to fill out a short application form to secure the opportunity. Awesome. Stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you on our next session. Big love.